Hi, I'm Streaky from Streaky.com, and today, by popular demand, I'm reviewing the Yamaha Hs7. So, I've been asked a lot, I review high-end speakers, and so everyone has asked me to review these Yamaha Hs7s. Now they do 8s, they do 6s I think. That's the size of the cone. These are £300 a pair. Bargain. Active speakers for £300. I just can't believe this is happening in this world. It's mental. I did some Adam ones the other day and it's just crazy that you can get a fairly, there's a lot of bang for your buck, as they say. So these little boys, they've obviously nicked the design from the NS10. It's Yamaha, they can do what they want. It's their speaker. It kind of looks similar in the way that it's got a white cone. You can actually get these in a white casing as well, which would have been nice for my room, but you can't have it all. So they're quite heavy. They've obviously got some decent size amps in them. They're a big solid unit. They have a tweeter at the front. I think they cross over about 2K. And then they've got this mid-range here. There is a port at the back to get a little bit of bass action coming out of them. And there are some settings. Now, the thing I like about this straight away was the level setting. The level pot has a little detent in it at plus 4 dB, so at least you know where you are on these. So that's handy. They've got a AES input if you want to come AES, or they have a jack input. They've got a thing called room control, which is basically 0, -2, -4, so up and down level, and then a high trim. So if they're a little bit bright for your ears, you can turn those up or down, on and off, blah blah basics, and a grill. So, how do they sound when I was playing with them? So, I set them up, I had a good listen to them. Now, they're not the same as NS10s, let's get that straight off, because I know NS10s like the back of my hand, I've worked on them forever. NS10s are NS10s, they're very bright, you either love them or you hate them. NS10s can be thin, if you get the right amp with them, they're a little bit more pokey in the low end. So, there's a lot of variance with those, because you've got amps, you've got different tweeters for different ones over the years, blah, blah, blah. So, they aren't the similar vibe. But having said that, in the tops and the mids, they do play back very well in the same way that NS10s do. And for the money, I actually thought they were pretty tight. The top end it's not ultra bright as in say ribbon tweeters are, but it's not dull enough so that you're not missing those top frequencies. It's kind of doing what NS10s does in a way, where it's kind of focusing on the important frequencies in the mid-range, in the top, so that you're getting that kind of, you can work on that detail. I would say that's the kind of theory that these are working on. Now, the mid-range driver, these prove my point as well, that I always say, is that it's very, very difficult for a driver of this size, whether that be 8-inch, 7, 6, to be able to move when you've got low bass going on, because obviously the bass is moving like this, and as it goes up the spectrum it's getting faster, so this is having to pump quicker. I stuck it with a sub that I've got, and again, as always happens with two-way speakers, I did a crossover about 80 Hertz, so then everything above 80 Hertz-ish was then being taken on by this up until 2K, and then that takes over. The difference was insanely better. This could really handle mids well. A very good designed cone when you get rid of some of those subs, some of those lower kicks and stuff, so that this is just doing its job in the low mids and high mids, and it was getting more clarity to it then, and a lot more depth. I would definitely recommend. They do a sub for these, I believe. It doesn't have a remote, so that's annoying, but the sub I do has, so you can just switch it on and off. But I would definitely invest in a sub. These are only 300 quid. You might as well get yourself a sub for another couple of £100, and then you've got yourself a fairly, decent little set of speakers. They're not insanely amazing, but they are good. They're tight in the areas they need to be, and you can hear what's playing back. With the sub, obviously more detail in the mids. Now the stereo image was very, very good on them. I didn't have them really wide. I had them sort of about here, so I was in a triangular shape with them, and it was the detail and the depth was pretty good. The depth got better with the sub, but even on their own without the sub, they can hold their own. The stereo field's really good. So for pinpointing out stuff in mixes, you can do that with them. I'd recommend them. They're pretty good for the money. 300 quid, you can't really go wrong. There's another set of little reference speakers. If you want to get into the higher details, you're going to have to get into higher price brackets. But yeah, for 300 quid, you can't really go wrong. So yeah, that's the Hs7. Hs7. So if you like this kind of content, please subscribe. Please leave comments below if you want me to review anything, or if you've got any comments on these, if you've heard them and you've got any setup ideas or anything you want to share with everybody else in the comments, please do that. Please go to streaky.com, sign up to my newsletter. It comes out once a month at the start of the month, and it's just tips, tricks and things that I see around the web that I like, that I think you might like too, being another kind of audio anorak. And yeah, until next time, thanks for watching. Bye.